At the highest level of professional football, physical talent is a baseline requirement. Every elite squad is fast, strong, and technically proficient. The real separator, the invisible force that determines longevity, is how a team handles crushing psychological pressure. It is a weight that causes most organizations to fracture. Yet Real Madrid operates as a statistical outlier. When the clock hits the 90th minute and the threat of failure causes opponents to hesitate, this club finds a higher gear. They don't simply survive the final moments, they thrive in them. This behavior traces back to 1902. Founded in the heart of the Spanish capital, the club began as a local team with no indication it would eventually dictate the standards of the global game. Everything changed when the King of Spain granted the club the title Real, or Royal. This wasn't a mere honorary label. It permanently shifted the team's identity, transforming a sports club into a national symbol of power and prestige. Becoming the most successful institution in football history isn't a matter of luck or simply outspending rivals. It is the result of a century-old codified psychological standard that considers anything less than greatness a failure. A royal title provides status, but status without execution is hollow. To build a lasting legacy, the club had to earn its reputation through sustained dominance on the pitch. The architect of this foundational era was Alfredo Di Stéfano. In the 1950s, he spearheaded a period of control that defined the modern era of the sport. The data from this period is definitive: 5 consecutive European Cups. It is a record of consistency that still resonates as a benchmark of elite performance decades later. These 5 trophies did more than fill a cabinet. They institutionalized a baseline of success, setting a permanent expectation for every player who would later wear the white shirt. By the early 2000s, the landscape of football was shifting. To remain at the top, the club had to evolve its definition of greatness to match a new, hyper-commercialized era. They launched the Galácticos strategy, beginning with the world record acquisition of Zinedine Zidane. They followed with the signing of global icon David Beckham, and completed the trio with the arrival of Ronaldo Nazario. By concentrating the planet's most famous athletes in one squad, the club merged elite sport with the volatility of global entertainment and business. This transition meant that every move on the pitch was now scrutinized by a worldwide audience, placing the players under a heavy, constant spotlight. Success in this era proved playing for Madrid required more than technical skill. It required the mental resilience to perform as a global icon. Those who couldn't handle the visibility were quickly cycled out, leaving only those who could produce results under extreme public expectation. In 2009, this culture of high-stakes performance found its ultimate representative in Cristiano Ronaldo, a player whose personal ambition matched the club's institutional hunger. This visualizes an output driven by discipline. Ronaldo scored 450 goals for the club, a statistical anomaly exceeding traditional curves. This individual production translated into team glory: 4 Champions League titles, including a modern-era first, 3 consecutive victories between 2016 and 2018. That 3-year stretch confirms the power of the Madrid environment. The club's culture of expectation doesn't just encourage success, it forces its players to achieve the statistically impossible. Even as iconic players depart, the club's dominance remains curiously consistent. This continuity exists because the expectation of the impossible comeback is woven into the club's identity. From the training ground to the locker room, new players are immersed in a psychology where losing is a structural impossibility. A new generation is currently navigating this pressure, led by figures like Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr., who has already become a key figure in the club's modern European nights. These young stars succeed because they fit the institutional profile. They are fast, fearless, and have the mental capacity to use the club's immense pressure as fuel rather than a burden. Ultimately, Real Madrid is more than a team. It is a mindset and a standard of greatness. As long as football is played, the institution's legacy, built on a century of earned victories, will never fade.